Good morning to you. Happy New Year to you. How are you today?
Good morning, Keith. Happy New Year to you, your colleagues, and indeed your listeners. I'm in good form. Despite all that's going on, I think we have to try and put a best foot forward.
Yeah, and I suppose that's what this is about. I mean, the traders had a good run into Christmas, so they had a successful run into Christmas for them. And again, hopefully with this lockdown working, hopefully we'll get back to some kind of normality.
And I think that is the common hope. I think we have to be practical as well. And from listening to Dr. Smith and indeed Owen Curry and others before me, you know, there is still a minefield to be worked through in terms of how the vaccination programme runs. And equally, you know, when you asked Owen, when will normality come, and nobody kind of knows. And I think we have to be practical at this stage. There's two steps that we're certainly advising our members to take. And one is about, I suppose, safeguarding your business, and then the other is about safeguarding yourself and your family. And, you know, you don't need me to reiterate, many brighter people than I have talked about the measures that have to be followed around, you know, trying to dodge the infection, shall we say. But also there's the whole point as well about keeping that mindfulness piece and keeping things in perspective, because I think there's so much, no matter what media outlet or channel you look to, and I was doing quite a bit this morning, you either have, you know, Brexit with its rumblings, you have COVID, or you have the US election still going through a roller coaster, and there's no particular clear good news. So I think we have to be very careful about not getting caught up in the sea of bad news that's out there, and take time each day just to put things in a little bit of perspective. And actually there's a brilliant article on rte.ie which I shared earlier across our social channels, and it'll be on the Chamber website as well. And it's practical. It's what you need to know about anxiety, panic and worrying, and I think it's more relevant now than ever. So there's that protecting the individuals, and those traders that you say did get a good bounce, and some in tourism and hospitality did get a bounce as well. I know there was disappointment that the New Year didn't feature for many, and there was a lot of cancellations, but you know what? You can understand why that has happened, because unfortunately the numbers just went the way they did. But I think practically what's within your control, and this is the bit that we're encouraging members and business people. You know, we're talking between now and the end of January, but realistically we're advising people to take a 3 to 6 month perspective on this. And it's about talking to your bank. It's the simple stuff, not hiding from it. It's engage with your relationship manager, your bank manager. Try and see what are the mechanisms that can be put in place to keep you afloat between now and mid-year. And, you know, and the same with revenue, the same with looking at your suppliers and how you engage with them. And Keith, it's the same old nuggets. There's no new magic bullet. What there is just the same relentlessness but resilience that's going to have to be shown just to keep afloat over the next few months.
Absolutely, but I think what we all need to do, me included, you, us all, I think we all need to pick a date that we're aiming towards, be it the 1st of June, 1st of July, 31st of whatever, and work towards that, and just do your best between now and then.
But do your best between now and then, and listen, it's interesting actually with the announcements over the last week. I think the government has been so focused on Brexit, as the websites aren't even necessarily updated in terms of, well, what are the supports that are going to be trying to help people between now and June. We know that Revenue had a deadline for year end for the continuing employee wage subsidy scheme, which has been so important over the last 9-10 months. And we're in Chambers Ireland are lobbying for that deadline to be extended, because many businesses didn't get their submissions in. And I think that will happen. We've seen some commentary from government, and that will allow many businesses continue to avail of the supports if they're down 30% or more between now and June. So that's a step in the right direction. You know, the wage waiver is the one solid thing that has been announced for another 3 months. And it's not necessarily an extra bump in cash, but it is for those who have to pay it. But many businesses will say, listen, we don't need to pay rates because we're closed anyways. And there is a valid argument in that. But I think we're also going to see a rollout of further, be it restart grants or further funding from central government to deal with the whole cohort of businesses that do need it. But in the meantime, I think what's within our own control at this stage, it's engaging with your bank and it's engaging with your accountant to try and file your returns with Revenue, for example, but warehouse your debts so that if you're paying items to Revenue now, you don't necessarily need to be doing that. You can defer it for 6 months and into a payment arrangement with Revenue when you reopen. So I think the key thing in every business person's mind, and it's very hard, you know, you're looking at your premises, you may be still opening but on a much, much reduced capacity, or you may be just totally closed. And the human impact that comes with that, but equally you just have to say, right, what is within my control and how can I keep myself going mentally, physically, but also what are the steps I need to put in place so that when vaccination does roll out, and we're all safe to return to some degree of normality, that your business will be there and will be able to survive and hopefully thrive.
All right, Kenny, we'll touch base with you later in the week, but thank you so much for joining us, and keep strong and keep safe, which is the most important thing. Keith, as regards to scrap car